understand pads is always like a big day for you guys, especially the younger guys. How was it for you? This is what, your third year, second year?
Going into year 2, yeah.
Yeah. So how was it for you this second go around?
I always like pads, just putting them on. I feel like it's easier just as a lineman, whether you're on offense or defense, just getting your hand fits and playing how you're supposed to play when you have pads on. You know what I mean? Whereas you gotta hold back a little bit when you're not wearing anything.
Going into year 2, can you talk a little bit about what your process has been, if anything has changed as far as trying to help yourself level up to be a big impact player for the Cowboys this coming season?
Just trying to be a lot more consistent in like my routine, make sure I'm taking care of my body, just dialed in with stuff like that, making sure it's like things that are just kind of set, things that I'm doing every day, take the thinking out of it because it's just something that I'm in daily, just a daily routine, and then just locking in, being with DQ again, getting the scheme down, just being able to think a little bit less about the plays because they're a little bit more automatic. Things are clicking. The connection with the guys that we've built over the last year is just bringing everything together.
For you guys in the trenches, how would you characterize the difference between the first 4 practices and now today finally being able to put pads?
Like I was saying, it's just easier to get like your hand fits, just play how you're supposed to, be a little bit more physical when you have pads on, whereas like when you don't, you got to hold it back just a little bit, taking care of each other and just being smarter when you don't have pads on. Obviously, you got to practice smart with them on, but you could be a lot more physical when you're wearing pads and everything.
Is there an aspect of it when you're running out today where it's like finally you
Yes.
can actually play football?
Yes.
What's that emotion like in that moment?
Oh, it just makes you happy. It's exciting. You know what I mean? Just to be able to put it on makes it feel more real. Know we're getting closer to playing ball, playing on Sundays.
What's it like in a crowded but also young defensive tackle group? Is that competition kind of helping you to better yourself and grow off of each other?
For sure. I mean, I'm just a competitor in general. So, like, I watch guys that are next to me since I've been playing football. Whether they know it or not, like, they're helping me get better because I'm watching them, seeing what they do good. I'm like, okay, I want to get me some too, you know what I mean? And then just feeding off of that.
Who are some of those guys?
I mean, Nev is one of those guys. Tristan Hill is one of those guys for sure. Bohanna, Big John, just watching all of them and seeing what they do good, just making sure I'm staying on top of my game. You know what I mean?
Is there an example of something that you've learned from them that you've put as a part of your game?
I would just say, like, I like to watch Tristan. He got really good hands. He'd be getting into guys' pads very quickly, just trying to take that into the run game. And then just the twitchiness that he has in the pass rush as well.
Now, there's a good bit of pressure on the interior defensive line to help upgrade the run stoppage. And in the first year under Dan Quinn, you guys actually did do much better at stopping the run over the years when Dan Quinn was not here. Going into year 2 under Dan Quinn, can you talk a little bit about what he's preaching that will help you guys take that next step in stopping the run, especially from a core of young guys like yourself?
Just continuing to elevate, you know what I mean? Being obsessed with improvement and just continue to work on the things that we've been trying to, just taking it one day at a time, making sure we got our one thing that we're working on, keeping it simple, you know what I mean? Everyone has their one thing that they'll work on, so just making sure you know what that is for you and just getting better at that every day.
What's your one thing?
You know,
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. I say I have like one thing, but I wrote them on my tape, so I'm just working on keep my pads low, making sure I'm getting off the ball, working my hands and things like that. It's 3 things, but just a little progression.
Kind of spinning off of that just a little bit. Have you set any specific individual goals for yourself, be it TFL, sacks, whatever the case may be?
I set all of those. I'm not going to tell you what they are, though. I talk to my brother about that, share it with my coaches, teammates, but I like to keep that within us.
Have you always written your goals and like your notes on your wrist like that?
Can I take a picture?
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's something that I kind of started doing when I was at UCLA. Just figure like when I'm really tired, things start to go by the wayside. Just like look down, have something that I know that I could work on in those situations when I'm just tired, can't really think about too much. I could just focus on these 3 things right here.
That's awesome. Do you do it every day or just really?
Yeah.
Every day you set new goals for yourself?
No, I mean, it's typically the same ones every day, but it's like just at the end of practice when I'm like huffing and puffing, I can just look down and be like, okay, if we're doing these 3 things, we're getting better right now.
What are the 3 things today?
Just keeping my pads low, getting off the ball, working my hands.
All right. Thanks, Osa.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.